Welcome to Tent Talk, the podcast with Nancy McCready, where we talk about life under the big tent of God's presence and the provoking process of discipleship. Here we go.
Hey everybody, welcome to Tent Talk. This is Nancy McCready. Check out this episode and hear if possibly you still have many unresolved conflicts that are operating, but you can't see them. You may be unaware of them, but they are draining you of the energy that you need to really live in deep, abiding oneness with the Father. Are we receiving what He has provided to deal with every conflict and controversy? Or are we still trying to live well-adjusted lives through our own cleverness, through our own techniques of managing and coping? My friends, that's not really living. We need to turn to Him and let Him really awaken us to how much is draining us today that we just can't see, that we're just unaware of. Check it out. Thanks so much. One of the main things that puts a drain on us is when we don't realize that we have so many unresolved conflicts. We have become clever at dealing with things. We avoid addressing things, or we've tried so many other methods that we're living under a faux conflict resolution, if you will. We think, no, I've taken care of that, or, it just doesn't bother me anymore, these kinds of things. But when we haven't seen the ultimate goal, if you will, which is, abiding oneness with the Father, then we think just a matter of being healed is the end. And we haven't recognized that our healing isn't the end, it's the means to an end. That have we actually taken hold of the full provision of the Father? For this is how sons live. Sons are not just looking for any old fountain to be healed by. They are looking to the Father and the bowing to the Father, that which breaks the independence that has for so long lulled us into a sleep of being satisfied with so little. Is that this is a part of the great awakening, I think, that's coming, is to awaken to the provision of the Father, that it is He who has taken care of things. And when you take what He has provided, it brings you back to Him. So to just be healed, that's not really the goal, to be returned to Him and to live full out, fully functioning. So the other day I was reminded of this example He gave me once in my own life, so I just wanted to briefly share it with you, that when we've tried all these other things, it's like on your phone, you have left all these apps open. I mean, if you're a busy person on your phone, you could come to the end of your day and literally have anywhere from 20 to 50 apps still running on your phone. And I didn't know this until many years ago when one of my children had to upgrade my knowledge. And they said, "Mom, don't you know that you need to be clearing your phone?" And I said, "Well, but it looks fine." And so as far as I could tell, I was just looking at, my home screen, the set screen, and I thought, well, it's fine. I thought if I'm not using the app, then it's closed. And they said, well, just hit your home button a couple of times. And all of a sudden I was like, wow. And I swiped and swiped and swiped and swiped, and I could not believe how many apps were still open, though I did not realize it because I'm just looking at the surface of my screen. And the more I swiped, the more I saw. I was like, wow. And they said, well, Mom, all that is still running, and so it's draining your battery. And so you need to swipe them out. You need to close all of those things. Well, I didn't know that. And so oftentimes, this is how it is in our life, is we either are shut down or numbed out, or we think we have, taken care of things in our past, conflicts, confrontations, mistreatments, abuses, whatever the case may be, and we think we have successfully dealt with things. And yet we don't realize that actually, unless those things are dealt with at the cross by the full provision of our Father, they do not bring us more to Him. They may make us more well-adjusted. And if you've read my book, you know I don't hold being well-adjusted in any high opinion, because I think well-adjusted people are the most traumatized people because they have adjusted well to living independent from the Father. I was not created, nor were you created to just try to, have a balanced life. We are called to live in the full out life of Christ Himself. So all that life management, all of that trying to deal with things on our own, even utilizing human forgiveness, all of that is not accessing and taking hold of the life, the finished work of the cross, and therefore we live under the illusion that all is taken care of. But I believe a part of the awakening that's coming, as life begins to stir in you more and more and more, you awaken to that unless it is bringing me more to Him, making me more aware of His goodness, making me more aware of His desire for me and to live in oneness with me, that really, what have I been doing? What have I been doing all this time? And we need to be those that realize that some of us have a lot of apps still open, a lot of conflicts still open, to use the example of my phone, and they're running, and those conflicts are under there, and they're they're draining, they're not truly resolved, nor has the resolving of it brought you back to Him. So I believe this is a part of why then when we attempt to have this breed of fellowship I'm talking about, when we attempt to relate with people, we don't realize a lot of those unresolved conflicts are still deciding for us who we're going to be with, who we'd be willing to reach out to, who we think should receive, the mercies of God. We don't realize that so much of that is still running inside of us. And so I want to encourage you today, to say, Holy Spirit, do I have a lot of open apps that I can't see that are running, that are draining me, that are dictating who I will interact with and who I won't? But most of all, is there something keeping me from moving in greater depths of oneness with you? Because this is where all the production will be. This is where we really move with Him the way He desires, what He's after. And so think about this today, and then hit your home button, click it twice, and see how many apps do you have running. And think about, I wonder how many conflicts have not really been resolved God's way. How many things in my life are still open-ended? How many things am I trying to handle on my own? How many plates am I trying to, spin? How many balls am I trying to keep in the air? How many relationships are still based upon old dynamics of conflicts that haven't yet been truly dealt with in the full out finished work of Jesus on the cross? So think about it, and I'll talk to you later. Love you all.
For more information on Nancy, please visit nancymccready.com or follow her on social media at NB McCready.